G'day guys, haven't posted in a while. Just had some things going on in my life. Probably won't explain. Nothing important on my channel, but well, it's going to obviously, things are going to affect me. But anyway, move on. Hope you're all keeping well. Gonna put some more videos on this channel now. The weather, probably you can't see the skies here in SA, so spring is finally here. Got some big adventures coming up definitely in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye on this channel, guys. There's going to be some more videos. Getting the beast out, so getting the boat ready, so we got a long weekend coming up. But I'm going to do a video, and I've seen a lot of videos actually, how to clean a cast iron camping pot. Now, if you're not familiar with or you are new to my channel, or if you are subscribed to my channel, you've probably seen the latest with the last videos quite a while ago. And I had this cast iron camping pot. Now inside it's not too bad. Now, as they call it, you got to season it. Now, to keep them clean and keep them rust free, you got to, after you use them, you got to make sure you clean them and keep the moisture and water out, otherwise they just rust. So I have got, the only thing I haven't cleaned is obviously the top. Now, when I clean this thing, I actually instead of doing it in the oven, as what most people do, they normally scrub the hell out of it. I've got some alfoil here that gets rid of rust, and get old Stilo pads. Doesn't have to be something expensive. Use a bit of vinegar as well. So they use cleaning vinegar, I think they said, but I'm just going to use just normal standard white vinegar. Give that a go. If not, just some warm water. So what you do is, when you scrub that, dry it, you're meant to stick it in your oven as hot as possible. I got the oven going, but mind you, I've been warned from other YouTubers that your house can just get smoky, so obviously make sure you have windows and doors open. But yeah, you can stick them in the oven and just season them and stuff. So I have done that with this one, but then mind you, I didn't put it as long as in the oven as what you meant to do. So I did it the other way. I actually had a fire in there, had really hot coals one night. So it was really charcoal and got really hot, and cleaned it out from there, and it kind of worked. But what I didn't do is obviously the outside. Now, we all know rust is like cancer, right? So if you don't clean the outside rust, because I think, well, what's the point? You're not cooking on the outside of the pot. You're only using the inside. But eventually that rust on the outside of this lid will probably end up spreading somehow and going on the bottom. The lid's not too bad, but I did find I had a lot of alfoil specks, just a little bit. So I'm gonna probably work on the lid today and probably hopefully get as much as possible on the bottom to just get a good scrubbing. So, which means I'm gonna have to season it again, because once you take that coating out, or the season coating off, you need to spray it with oil, not overly spray. See, I did that the wrong time, or the first time. I had too much spray, so it was a puddle inside, and I left it, because you've got to spray it so it doesn't rust. And then I had a massive residue of pile of oil just sitting in there, and every time I was going to use the pot, it was just, you're wiping, it's just black oil coming off. It was horrible. I thought, well, I can't really do that. Food's going to taste horrible, because I know if you get these things right, yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. I had this thing for years, and cast iron will, they're not meant to rust, not meant to. But I reckon I've left this out in the weather many years back. But mind you, I thought this was bad until I seen other YouTubers, and wow, like, oh, you think it'd be just an absolute throwaway, and no, they've just scrubbed it off and cleaned it, and when you season it, yeah, they come as good as new. So I'm going to do a video and see how I go with this one. So I'm just going to get some alfoil, and you basically just scrub around. So it's just most of the outside, but The inside's not too bad, believe it or not. But see, I'm getting that black oil residue off. I don't know what that is. It's maybe just the, yeah, I don't know. If you got the same thing and got the same problem, please comment down below, because I'd like to know, when I wipe that with paper towel, it's black. It's like charcoal type thing. And now, is that normal? Is that going to go in your food? Is it safe? You know what I mean? Because I'm probably going to do some stews and some damper in there in the next couple of weeks. So I don't really want that on my food, really, to be honest. I know with the damper you can obviously put your flour in there and use it as a coating. Then you see where when the flour browns up, you'll know your hot spots, and that's the base. The colour of the base is your damper is going to be. But with the stews directly in there, I mean, there's no rust, but I don't know. But if you got the same issue, you got a cast iron pot, and yeah, if you know about that, when you wipe that with paper towel, and it all just comes off like a black oil. Let me know what it is. Is it safe? Is it just burnt oil? I don't know. But I'm going to re-season it, and I'll definitely do a bit of a video on the progress, hopefully. So let you know the outcome of this thing. But I'm going to give this a good scrubbing anyway, guys, and hopefully it comes up good as gold. So it's just the top, the bottom's fine. The specks, I don't know if you can see those specks. That's just like aluminium specks, I reckon. But I'm going to give that another clean, stick it in the oven, and re-season it. Because I mean, these things are bloody expensive. Camping pots, like I've seen the smaller ones, and they're like, oh, $65, I think. Yeah, and this one here, I think, I can't remember back in the day when I paid for this, but they're expensive now, so it's not something I'm going to throw out. But anyway, alright, well, let's get cranking, guys. Let's see if we can get this rust off and get it as clean as possible, ready to use for my trip. So I've given it a good scrubbing with the good old Stilo and vinegar. As you can see, guys, it destroys the hell out of them. It doesn't last long. And the alfoil didn't work as well neither, but maybe I need to use a bigger bunch of alfoil. So I've just given this a rinse. It's come up a little bit better than what it was, but it definitely needs more work. There's definitely a lot of elbow grease in this. You know, I guess they don't have to be exactly perfect, but I don't know. From watching other videos, I reckon I can get this thing pretty new again. See, it's obviously the sides as well. It's only just surface rust. It's just an out coating, really. An outside coating. No, not happy with that. It's come up a lot better, but it definitely needs more work. You can definitely see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the inside here, and definitely the outside of the lid as well. And I've given that another good wiping, so I'm going to re-season that. So after I've finished the top, I'll give that just a light scrubbing, recoat it, or re-season it, spray it straight and stick in the oven. Go from there. All right. Yeah, that didn't work. All right. Might try even some sandpaper. I'll be back, guys. I've just had an idea. What about if I've got two wide brushes. I've got this old one here, got a new one. They're just sitting on the table. And I'm thinking maybe that might actually come up. Oh yeah, I reckon that's a winner. Back to work for Benno. I got my finger, I don't know if you can see that in the, when I was scrubbing away, the wire brush went straight through my finger. Yeah, it stings a bit. That should be alright. There you go, so I'm going to give that a rinse, guys. I'm going to see where that, if that's come up pretty good. If not, I'll move on to the next method, maybe a bit of sandpaper. I'll give it a rinse, I'll be back. So I gave that a good rinse, as well as my finger. Done other bloody worse things and injuries. Knee deep dislocations twice, broken arms, oh, cuts, burns. I think it's just part of life. Yeah, look at that, has come up a lot better. Has come up a lot better. Not too concerned about the bottom because I can just give that a wipe down. Yeah. I really don't think I'm going to get that any better. I am gonna try some sandpaper. I'm not using the cleanest bloody rag, am I? Jeez. Has come up a lot better. Slightest little bit of rust. I reckon she's pretty good. I reckon I might go over it just once more. Only because I like when I clean things, I like to have them as close as possible clean. Just around the handle. Around there, it's just a couple of heavy spots of just light rust. Alright, the old vinegar's doing the trick, I reckon. It's just hard to spray it on there, but we'll get on there. I might even spray it, I reckon, with a spray bottle. There's the ring that I'm concerned, but it's not as bad as that. Look at that. Yeah. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that actually. I'm going to go once more time with some sandpaper. See if that comes up. Back to work. But I'll just stick the vinegar in this spray bottle. Make it easier, I reckon. Yeah, look at that. Just a bit of P122 sandpaper. You're going to probably laugh at me, but you know what, anything that works that gets rust off. Alright, let's get scrubbing. Right, this will be the third wash. I reckon, with a cleaner rack obviously, I reckon I'm not going to get any better than that. That's come up pretty good. Yeah, that's come up pretty good. If I had, I mean I've got a power drill but I don't have the wire brush ending, the wire brush end and the power drill. I've seen that. That'll definitely work. Ah look, it is what it is, isn't it? I reckon once I've seasoned this now, which I'm going to do, get the moisture out of that as much as possible. Because moisture, as we all know, creates rust. I was going to say mould. Well, it does cause mould, but yeah, rust. There you go. I don't want mould in this, crocky. Yeah, I reckon that's come up pretty good actually. I know that. I know that part. It's just obviously little specks of alfoil, but I know how to get that off. That's easy. That's an easy fix. I reckon that's come up pretty good. The big bloody part is the pop. I'll get as much as I can actually. Look at that, guys. Probably you can see a before and after result. I'm going to give this a bit of a just a light rub. Because just those little aluminium bits in the alfoil. Now what I'm doing now, because this has been seasoned once before, I'm now actually taking that off, but that's fine. It's going to re-season. I'm not going heavy at all. Alright, very lightly. Alright, very lightly. Alright, let's go get some cooking spray, I reckon. And get that in. Getting pretty low on the stuff, and also getting low on the battery on this GoPro. Oh crikey, everything goes flat. Okay, so people use a bit of olive oil. I'm just going to use a good old canola spray oil. I reckon that'll work. It's oil based. You know what I mean? So she's getting pretty empty, so I'm going to probably get another one for that, I reckon. You don't have to overly spray them too heavy, but I'm going to do the inside and the outside of that. Give it a light rub with paper towel. Put that in the oven for a couple of hours, I reckon. See how we go. Alright, lid's in, guys. Cooking away. Got that set probably around the 250. No, not even 250. About 230. So 230 degrees. Gonna leave it maybe probably a good hour, I reckon, is what other YouTubers recommend. So gonna stick this camera on some charge, give my hands a good clean up. Got rusted old hands. Yeah, but mind you, when I've done my research, and obviously a lot of you may or may not know, obviously you've done this before, they do smoke because of the oil. I have sprayed it. Didn't feel that, but anyway, you don't need to see that. Alright guys, see you in an hour, hopefully with a good result. And then we can start on the pot on the outside, try and get that as best as we can, get that rust off. Ciao for now. I'm on the bit of just using the phone as footage while the GoPro is on charge, so I thought I'd just pop this in quickly on a inside, well obviously on my video. Just going to give this a spray. No, not with this. What am I doing? Gee Benno, think. Going to use the vinegar. Just going to give that a good spray with the vinegar on the outside. I'm not going to do too much on the inside because I don't want to take the coating off of that because it's already been seasoned, but I'm just going to recoat it again because, well, why not? Give the old alfoil trick. see how we go, guys, with this. I'll give you the results after she's done. Right, now it's time. I've given this a good scrubbing, guys. It's come up pretty good actually, even though it was pretty clean anyway, but I've taken the season off that and now I've got to redo it. So just a bit of a, I'm using the phone footage, so got the one-hander at the moment, bit of paper towel, and just give it a nice little rub inside so it's not puddling like I did last time. Oh, you learn over these things. Right. Because I've used Steelo, the chemical, I might just give that a bit of a wash inside properly, because I've only just hosed it down. Yeah, might just do that. Throw that in the laundry quickly. Give that a good clean with the warm water and whatever, bit of soapy warm water. Then redo that. The things you got to do to keep these things in good condition, but mind you, that's come up pretty clean. Not too concerned about the bottom part, but yeah. Just before I stick in the pot, guys, I've just brought that out of the oven. I'm not going to pick it up with the gloves because I was going to take it outside, but yeah, even the good old welding gloves couldn't even handle the heat. It's like, yeah, she's pretty hot. So I'll let that cool down to a temperature I can go get it with the gloves. Stick in the I reckon give this pot just another little clean. Just be concerned with that chemical that comes off the steel wool, you don't want that. Gotta do the right thing, I guess, especially when it comes to food. Other from that, she's looking pretty clean. I have taken off a bit of it's like a fatty. When I was saying at the beginning of the video, it's like that fatty, greasy, slimy coating, and you can just see it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's around here, and it's like it's caked on. And when I put my thumbnail or my nail over it, it's kind of scrapes off. So if you guys know what, if you know what that is, yeah, definitely let me know in the comments, because it doesn't bother me, but it's just when I wipe it with paper towel, it comes off black. And I thought, well, I don't really want that on my food, to be honest, because these things are brilliant. I mean, the flavour you get in your food from these cast iron pots and pans and whatever you get, it's amazing. But that's why they're so expensive. Yes, look at that. I don't know, guys. Don't know what that is. It's like a coating. Is that not meant to come off? Let me know. I'm all learning here with this thing, because I was going to, at one stage I was going to throw it out, and I had this, but I was going very, very lightly, but just like that, you know what I mean? You don't want to dig into it. It's a coating. Yeah. Might be because when I baked it last time, or I seasoned it, seasoned it, whatever they call it, seasoning. Season your pot. Right. I'm going to give this just a little bit of clean in the laundry, give it another dry, do the oil, stick her in the oven. Alright guys, in she goes. Still on the phone footage, so the top one here turned out alright. Let me just get a glove. It is still a bit warm, it's not as hot. Tell you what, these cast iron pots, they hold their heat. They really do. Look at that. If I just turn the light on, or even that, but I don't know if you can see that. That's come up pretty good, guys. I'm pretty impressed with that. A little bit of rust just on the back, but I mean, you can't get these things, you have to work just hours and hours on them, you know what I mean? So I'm going to leave that in for a good hour. Hopefully, and it gives good time, obviously, my GoPro to charge up. And then I'll show you the final end results. Ready to use. Just let that cool down, guys. Look at that. Clean, like brand new. I'm pretty impressed. It's still a bit warm. So I'm not gonna put the lid on the ground. That's the first thing. Well, the lid's supposed to be pretty cool now, but yeah, look at that. I'm still a little bit around here, so looks like caked on oil or some sort, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So I gave it another spray. That was a little bit warm. So other from that, guys, that's come up pretty good. I'm pretty impressed the way that's panned out. So it's been in the oven for probably a good hour and 20. I've just taken it out. The lid, I did it for about an hour. About probably 230 degrees, and she was pretty warm, so I let it cool down. Too warm for the welding gloves even. So now I'm just gonna let it cool down completely and put it back in the shed, keep it out of the weather, ready to go for when I go away. Alright guys, till next time. Well, you'll probably see me heading up the river, I believe, in 3 weeks. Fingers crossed the weather holds out. That is going to be the big trip. Till then, ciao for now. Signing out.